Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to A Nurse in the Kitchen. This is your friend, Chef Nurse Maggie. How are you doing, guys? Today, I thought I would do something fun, and I will show you how to make crepes. I'm wearing my my apron from the International Culinary Center. You know, years ago, I went to New York City for I think a week or two, and I just attended this French baking class where I learned how to make croissants. I made baguettes and tarts and bagels and all kinds of pastries. And I remember I stayed in a hotel at that time, and every night they would say, take your stuff with you. So I had to take all this stuff to the hotel room. By the time I went home, I had a bag full of stuff and I was smelling like croissants. Anyway, I thought for tomorrow being the weekend and Saturday, I do these on Saturdays, I thought maybe you would have something that's a little bit more versatile. Let's say you want to do breakfast or brunch for the kids, and a crepe is a little bit better than a wrap because you could do sweet or savory with it, and it's better than pancake. So if you're trying to kind of watch the calories, a crepe is something that is a little bit less guilt. It brings less guilt because it's so light. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to make some brown butter. I've already done it. I cooled it. So the batter. Okay, if you're gonna make crepes, the difference between a crepe batter and a pancake batter is how thin it is, and it takes skills to make it in the pan. But you know what? If you're doing it for your family, it doesn't have to be perfect. When I was at the restaurant, I bought this fancy round crepe machine, and it was so cumbersome. So I always ended up with a pan. I use a pan like this to make my crepes. Okay, so that's what we're going to use today. I seem to love that pan anyway. Now, if you've been to Paris and you haven't had a crepe, shame on you, because everywhere you go in Paris on the street, you can get a crepe. So you're going to be making your own crepe today. Now, you can do the crepe for it to be sweet. The recipe I'm going to give you is kind of a neutral recipe. If you want it to be sweet, where you're going to put fruits and breakfast stuff in it, you add a little bit more sugar. You can put some vanilla and some fresh nutmeg, even some orange zest if you want to do that, right? But if you want it to be savory, where you want to put some ham and cheese, which we're going to be showing you some of those, or you want to do a salad, or you want to put vegetables, or you want to do a crudité, where you just have raw vegetables, you're going to hold the sugar and the sweet and the vanilla. Okay, you got that? Okay, the secret also with the crepe batter is that you have to let it rest for about an hour. So we're going to use it. I'm going to use a pan. I'm going to move the camera in a minute, but you could also put it in a blender. You blend it real quick for 10 seconds just to mix it, and then you put it back out. Then you cover it, put it in the fridge for an hour so it gets nice and soft, because you want that batter to be really silky so it kind of flows into that pan and you'll see what I mean. Okay, so in this bowl, in this recipe, like I said, is kind of a neutral recipe. I'm not gonna put all the sugar in it. I'm just gonna put about maybe 1 teaspoon of sugar. That way it makes it really, I wanna say neutral, okay? So there's a little bit of sugar. In here I have 3/4 cups flour. If you could get pastry flour, it's even better. I have a hard time finding it at Walmart or at Publix. The only place I've been able to find it is at Whole Foods, but I'm using regular AP flour. Now the brown butter, I have about 2 tablespoons in here, and it's cool so it doesn't cook the eggs. 2 eggs in here. We're going to put half a cup of water. Half a cup of water. And 3/4 cups of milk. One of these days I'm going to be as organized as some of the people I watch on TV, where everything is laid out. Okay? And then I'm going to use my whisk. If I was doing it in the blender, I could do it in the blender as well. But I remember when I had the restaurant, I had this couple, and this gentleman used to come to the restaurant, and I'd be busy. He said, I know you're busy, but I'll wait for you to make me some crepes. And in a crepe that is gonna be sweet, you could line it with some fruit preserves. We used to put like jelly or jam for him, and then I would slice strawberries, and okay, that's the perfect consistency. I want you to see it. It's very nice and thin, which is what you want, okay? This is the key to the batter. So I'm going to put it in the fridge. It is perfect. I'm gonna put it in the fridge for an hour. I'm gonna cover it, and then I'll come back. Okay guys, all right. I switched my pan to the cast iron, which I love. So I'm going to lightly butter it. As you can see, it's already pretty warm. I'm gonna put it over here for a minute. I don't want it to be too warm. Now, if I had a smaller ladle in here, I use one. But because I don't want my crepes to be too small nor too big, I want them to be like the size of the pan here, I'm gonna fill it up to about 3/4, okay? And then I'm gonna put it in. Then I'm gonna start swirling it. Now that brown butter that it's in there, it's perfectly fine, because I want a little color to those crepes. I don't want them to be plain white. Okay? This is where the skill comes in, you guys. You have to keep rolling it. It's also shaping the size that you want. Okay? Now it's finished rolling. You let it start cooking. You just want to see the edges starting to cook, to lift, and then you know it's going to be safe for you to flip it. So you want a nice, it's going to be like a light, brown on the crepe. Now you could experiment with, let's say, whole wheat flour. I've seen gluten-free flour. You can, you could use whatever you want. Now for those of you who are vegan, I'm not sure what you would use for the egg, but you have to have egg in that batter, so I don't know. I'm sure somebody somewhere is coming up with a vegan style crepe. Because I always think it's kind of odd. If you don't eat eggs. Alright, flip. Woohoo! See how easy it was? So I'm going to turn the heat down. Because what I don't want is the bubble. No, 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 no. No bubble, no bubble, no bubble. Nope, I don't want the bubble. So again, control your heat. And you guys remember what I said. Half of what you do in cooking is heat management. So I'm going to be doing another one. And then I finish the rest of it, and then we'll put them together. Yep, I want that color on those crepes. No pale crepes. So that wasn't hard, was it? You just need a non-stick pan. Probably better in a cast iron or something like this than the one I was using earlier, because you want that brown color. Alrighty. It's perfect. You put it away, and it's gonna wait for what you have to fill it with. Okay? But they're very delicate, you guys, so you have to be careful. Okay? I'm gonna go for the next one. I don't even need to butter the pan again. Once you do it once, you're good to go. Gonna swirl. think I put a little bit too much. I feel that ladle a little bit too much. It's going around. Round and round it goes. Again, don't be in a rush. There we go. Okay guys, so I'll finish the rest of them and then I'll come back to you. Okay guys, I found that they were starting to stick a little bit, so I put just a little bit of butter. So this is gonna be, I'm gonna make this one the last one, okay? Round and round we go, ring around the rosy. Pocket full of roses, ashes. Except we don't all fall down. Okay. So I have like 4. And when we put them together, I'm gonna do a sweet. And I'm gonna let you know, I'm not gonna give it away. I'm gonna let you see it. And then you can put grilled chicken, you can put cold cuts. It's like a wrap, really, but the texture is soft and pliable, and it tastes a lot better, I think. I'm partial to crepes. It's the French in me, what can I say? Okay, and then we start testing the edges. You see how the edge is starting to come up? Very good. Now the burner is probably the best. I probably should have had a larger burner, but we already have caramelization at the bottom, so it's probably almost ready to flip right now. You see? You just use your spatula and voila. So there is nothing to it. I don't want you to be intimidated. And you know, most of the time when you make crepes, the very first one is a flop anyway. Almost every time when I make crepes, I have to throw away the first one. But I didn't have to do that this time, so I got lucky. So a crepe is a very thin wrap. Okay? And when you see people make it, if you go Google and you see them on the crepe maker and they have this long knife and they just go it underneath, and that's how, and then they just flip it. It, you know, like anything else, it just takes a little practice. So no worries. Nothing to be intimidated about. It's just that those people have been doing it forever, and you know, when you're doing something like 60, 70 times in a day, you have to be good at it, right? So I'm gonna move this a little bit, let this part cook a bit because it looks a little pale. And it's not the burner, it's I mean, it's not the pan, it's the burner. The burner is a little bit small, so the heat wasn't well distributed. Come on, you're taking my time. I don't want this video to be long. Okay, so while this is finishing, we're gonna move over to how we're going to put it together. Okay guys, so I just washed my hands. Now in the commercial area, I'd be wearing some clear gloves, right? Okay, so we have our crepes. If you look at them, see, you were looking for that soft. See how pliable they are? Okay, so the first one, I'm gonna make a sweet one. So I thought I would use Nutella. Now Nutella got a bad rap because people say they're very high in fat. I mean, these are the stuff that I don't even have in my house, okay? I'm just showing you. But kids love Nutella and they're up and about, you know, they can afford the calories. I don't particularly like hazelnut myself, but Nutella is pretty good. I'll give it that. Okay. Oops. Burn my So you have the Nutella, and then I have some sliced strawberries. You can just put some strawberries on here. You can put jam, like I said. Some people will put a little bit of creme fraiche on top of it. I just happen to have some yogurt, which is what I'm going to use, and I have some blueberries, which I love, and you know how good they are for you. And the thing is, with the crepe, you don't have to be fancy about how you roll them. It's not like when you have a wrap, you know, you have to do it a certain way. A crepe, you just roll, okay? And that's it. So now, with this plate, I'll show you in a second. I would put some strawberries on the side and sprinkle it with some confectionate sugar. Okay, and that would be good. I think I still have some mint that I will decorate that with. So that's perfect. Moving on, well, we'll do the powdered sugar. I'll show you. This is our plate with our crepe, and I'm going to dust it with a little bit of powdered sugar. I don't know, that always makes a plate look so much nicer. Beautiful. Okay, so voila. We're good there. Isn't that pretty? Where is my, oh, there's the mint. We're gonna stick a little bit of mint right here, just so that the plate can look nice. Okay, so this is our sweet, and oh yeah, and I'm gonna just put a dollop of yogurt, which if you had creme fraiche, you could do that, or if you had if you want to use cream, whipped cream, which you know I'm not into that. The other thing that I also have, remember that stewed apple that we did earlier? This is my apple. I'm going to save them, but you could have put that in there as well as a filling. Let's do a couple of savories. Let me get my ham and turkey. I have put them in the fridge so they would stay cold. So I'm taking one crepe. Okay, so this is the size of a small wrap, correct? And I have my aioli. You guys remember the aioli that I made? I showed you how to make that before. We're gonna put a little bit of that. That's your, you know, your mayo. Instead of plain mayo, you dress it up a little bit. Why be boring? You know, you gotta be not fancy, but a little bit elegant. So we have lettuce, and I have some sliced tomato that I had drained on a paper towel, because you know how tomatoes get very watery, so you don't want your crepe to be watery. So I went to Publix and got some good boar's head ham. And again, I usually don't have the stuff in my house, but I know your kids would love that. So you put that in there. And I got some jalapeno, I think pepper jack cheese. There we go. So again, you're just gonna roll. Don't have to be fancy, because when you pick up that crepe, you just pick it up. You're not trying to impress anybody with it, okay? Here's your crepe. And again, on the side, if you wanted to put like a small salad, you could do that. You could decorate with another piece of lettuce, and some of that tomato. Okay. Or this is exactly where I would put some of my ratatouille, and I'll show you how to make ratatouille soon. Okay. And then we can decorate with some parsley. I don't have parsley, but I do have cilantro. You know, I'm a cilantro kind of person. So we are going to decorate it with some cilantro for green. There you go. And the other one is just turkey. So with a with crepes, the sky's the limit as to what you want to fill it in. You can be as creative as you want. I could see me putting some fried pork and some pickles in there. I could put, you could do some rice, you could put some quinoa. So you could do whatever you want. So I hope you're going to give it a try, okay? Rome wasn't built in one day. This is the sweet. This is a crepe that is filled with Nutella and strawberries. This is yogurt, and then you have some sliced strawberries and blueberries. And in this one, this is a savory. You have ham and cheese with an aioli at the bottom. You could put plantains, you could put green peppers, red pepper. Let's say you have whatever you can find in your kitchen. You put it in there. If you have your kids coming home, you could put some sliced chicken. If you have chicken tenders, put them in there, wrap them, lettuce, tomato, throw a little bit of mayo, or if you have the aioli, or if you have a honey mustard dressing, whatever it is, just kind of dress it up, jazz it up. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy watching me make crepes, and I hope you're going to invite me next time to come to your place where you're going to make some crepes. Au revoir, à la prochaine.